As you guys know, JC does not have Snapchat, and I'm not sure exactly why he doesn't have Snapchat, so JC uses Instagram as his quote-quote Snapchat. They would, Snapchat 24/7 on Instagram and FaceTime every single night.
James Charles is caught up in some serious drama this week. Real serious. Bombshell info has dropped, and let's just say, things are not looking good for him at all. Several people have come forward calling him out in a big way. After staying totally quiet for days, James finally spoke up. But his response, it's only making the situation worse. This whole thing is messy, so let's break it down. To really get what's going on with James, we gotta rewind the clock, back to before he was even involved. At the heart of this whole situation is a TikToker named Kayla Malik and her now ex-boyfriend, Evan Johnson. Kayla's no small creator. She's got over 15 million followers on TikTok and 1.7 million subscribers on YouTube. She blew up online thanks to her wild storytime videos, and her bold makeup style definitely made her stand out. One thing she was known for, drawing on super thick freckles all over her face. That move stirred up a lot of heat in the comments. Some people thought she was doing her makeup bad on purpose, like she was trying to get hate, just so the algorithm would keep pushing her videos. And guess what? It worked. All that chatter put her right in the spotlight, even catching the attention of big-name beauty influencers. One of the big names who took notice of Kayla, James Charles. He stitched one of her TikToks and straight up offered to do her makeup, and Kayla said yes. They ended up linking up for a collab where James did her makeup, and after that, the two hit it off. They actually became pretty close and ended up working together a few more times. But recently, things took a serious turn. Kayla went public on TikTok and YouTube, opening up about her ex-boyfriend, Evan Johnson. She dropped a 2-part series on her channel called He Doesn't Love You. And it's intense. In these videos, Kayla gets real about the emotional pain and toxic behavior she says she experienced during their relationship. She dives deep into what was really happening behind closed doors, stuff she had kept hidden for a long time. Now, I won't break down every little thing she said because honestly, it's her story to tell. You gotta hear it from her directly. The videos speak for themselves and they're powerful. If you haven't watched them yet, you should.
Evan and I have always known of each other because we grew up in the same town here in Tennessee, but never hung out. Evan come back from LA, I believe, around January. Before all of this come about, I knew nothing about Evan and Kayla. I just knew that Evan and Kayla were in a relationship. So as soon as he got back, we hung out. We hung out multiple times and we talked about modeling. He started slowly opening up to me and telling me that him and Kayla were on a break. That's the reasoning that he's back here in Tennessee. And that he's just working on himself, and that also Kayla's working on herself. Not long after that, he started talking a lot about Kayla and was telling me like how, Kayla was and all of this. So I started getting red flags. So after that, Kayla shortly after, I believe, don't know the exact date that she come out with a live on TikTok and was just very, brief about, how Evan and her were, and it was very, toxic. So after that, I asked Evan about, some things, and he was like, oh, bro, she's lying, After Kayla recently just come out with her podcast on YouTube, I just want to say that it's sickening. It's disgusting. And I want to see this man in prison after what he put Kayla through. But not also Kayla. There's other victims.
This isn't just internet drama. It's real life, and it's heavy. They were one of those couples people followed closely. And Evan, he racked up a bunch of followers just from being with Kayla. So when Kayla dropped her story, the internet was shook. Fans couldn't believe what they were hearing, but they showed up for her. Her comments were flooded with love, support, and people thanking her for speaking out. Then came the bombshell. Evan got arrested. Yep, you heard that right. According to reports, Evan Johnson was taken into custody in Sumner County, Tennessee. The charge? Domestic issues and a probation violation. It happened on Monday, April 7th, and the sheriff's office confirmed he was arrested and released on bail that same day. Even though the 20-year-old made bail, social media exploded with theories linking his arrest directly to Kayla's viral videos. People were putting the pieces together fast, and her followers were not holding back. Kayla had claimed she was stuck in a toxic situation for 9 months, and now, with this arrest, the dots were connecting in real time. Kayla didn't hold back at all. She took her story beyond YouTube and started speaking out everywhere. From TikTok to podcast interviews, she made sure her voice was heard. Her relationship with Evan wasn't something private. It was front and center on social media. They were one of those internet couples everyone watched. And Evan, he gained a huge following just by being with her. So when Kayla came out with her side of the story, it shocked everyone. People couldn't believe what she had been going through behind the scenes, but the support was massive. Her comment sections lit up with people sending her love, sharing their own stories, and praising her for speaking up. Then came the jaw dropper. Evan got arrested. For real. Reports confirmed that Evan Johnson was taken into custody in Sumner County, Tennessee. The charges? A domestic incident plus violating his probation. It all went down on Monday, April 7th. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office confirmed everything. And yeah, he was released on bail later that same day. But the internet didn't let that slide. Social media blew up with speculation, and people immediately started connecting the dots. Evan being 20 and getting arrested right after Kayla's emotional video series?
My cousin that lives here in our local town, I never knew that Evan and my cousin, were a thing / dating. And when you released your podcast, she opened up to me and called me and to family that it wasn't as harsh as what you went through, but there's a lot of things that she was with by Evan.
That timing had the whole internet buzzing. Her followers were fired up, saying it all lined up with what she had claimed, being stuck in a messed up situation for the past 9 months. Everything was unfolding right in front of their eyes.
I'm texting another guy that's a big influencer, and he's like, she's literally doing that to get clout chasing. And this all happened when she went to Tampa.
I'll drop the full interview link below, but I'm not adding clips here, and here's why. The Channel Be Better says James Charles has been trying to get the video taken down. There's been drama behind the scenes with that video, and it's causing a lot of problems. Still, I'm gonna break it all down for you, and I'll also share some of Zach's TikToks, where he retells the exact same story in his own words. Let's start from the top. Zach actually grew up with Evan. They were childhood friends, so when Evan moved back home, fresh out of what Zach thought was just a typical breakup, Zach naturally stepped in to support him. He had no clue what had really gone down between Evan and Kayla. At that time, Zach didn't have the full picture. He only learned the truth after Kayla dropped her YouTube series and everything came to light.
Hi, sisters! Okay, I know you guys have been waiting for more parts and want the celebrity's name. I wanted to do it the right way. I wanted to reach out to Kayla and Kayla hear from me first, just because this is her story and I know deep down this is going to hurt. I gave you guys a hint at the beginning, but I'll go ahead and throw the name out there. It's the one and only James Charles.
Now here's where it gets wild. James Charles was close friends with Kayla. According to Zach, James already knew what had allegedly happened between Kayla and Evan before Kayla ever made it public. But instead of distancing himself, James apparently kept supporting Evan. And it doesn't stop there. Zach claims that James was also allegedly hooking up with Evan and letting him stay at his place in LA. That detail, it's got everyone talking. Because if true, it puts James in a very complicated position, especially given everything he supposedly knew. Now, you might be wondering, if Zach didn't know what really happened between Kayla and Evan until after she dropped her video, maybe James didn't either, right? That's the question. But according to Zach, James definitely knew, and not from rumors or hearsay. He claims Kayla told James directly right after the breakup. Things got even more intense during the Be Better interview. Zach revealed that James had reached out to both Kayla and Evan about doing a campaign together for his brand, Painted. But when he messaged Kayla to lock in the shoot, she let him know that they had broken up, and not on good terms. We're talking bad. And instead of showing support, James allegedly hit her with a cold comment like, "Well, can I have him now?" That right there had people stunned. It didn't stop there either. Zach claims that while Evan was dealing with the breakup, he was leaning heavily on James for support. Evan was even being flown out to stay at James's place in LA. Zach says he was on the phone with Evan during some of those stays, and James was right there, coaching Evan through the drama and giving him advice on how to handle it all.
Evan flew to California to see and stay with JC on February 28th. He stayed until March 3rd. He was supposed to come home on Sunday, but got talked into staying an extra night so they could have, one last night to, hang out and rest and just chill around the home. I know that just because I was in contact the whole time with Evan while he was in California, and I knew a lot of information at that time. This is coming from Evan. But since she has such a huge fan base, it's really hard to get my truth out. JC told me to be quiet as long as I can, no matter what. That come from Evan, and that was while he was in California.
The whole situation's messy, and if what Zach's saying is true, it paints a whole different picture of what was going on behind the scenes. Zach says James was out here telling Evan to stay silent, not respond to anything, and just pre-record videos explaining his side, trying to control the narrative. It rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And don't forget, James was supposed to be Kayla's friend. Imagine opening up to someone about what your ex put you through, and instead of cutting ties with them, your friend flies that same ex out to stay at their house and even starts giving them advice? It's wild. According to Zach, James wasn't just being supportive, he was allegedly involved with Evan and hiding it. Kayla even asked James straight up if he was seeing Evan, and James denied it. But here's the kicker. Zach says Evan was literally at James's house at that exact moment. And it gets messier. Zach claims James was doing the most, FaceTiming Evan at night, saying they could sleep on the phone together, sending disappearing pics and messages on Instagram, and keeping in contact every single day. Oh!
JC was already warned, told, and given information from Kayla the day that she broke up with Evan, that what he had done to her and how bad he was and how things got bad.
And apparently, James was trying to get Evan a pass to roll with him to Coachella too. We all know James has a thing for taking new flings to Coachella like it's part of the initiation, but then Kayla dropped her video. And just like that, the Coachella plans shut down. The whole situation flipped, and people started seeing things way differently. Zach says that as soon as he posted his first video about the situation, James wasted no time sliding into his DMs, trying to clean things up fast. According to Zach, James messaged him almost instantly with this.
There was a comment back to her, and it was along the lines, "Can I have him now?"
Hello, I'm just now seeing these. I'm absolutely not on his side and would really appreciate if you would leave me out of this. I only ever spoke to him because he manipulated me into thinking his situation was similar to what I went through, so it was a really personal and sensitive topic that I had empathy for. As soon as I saw Kelly's video, I felt disgusting and awful, and I've stopped responding to him altogether. He's obviously manipulating and lying to everyone. I should have never spoken to him, but you were in the car with him. So I don't think it's fair you're making a video accusing me of being some monster when he had you convinced too. I'm sorry I didn't see your messages previously. I wish I would have sooner, but I appreciate that you reached out to warn me. I'm at Coachella right now, but if you want to talk later on today or tomorrow, I can make myself available.
When Evan went to California, there was a phone call. I was on the phone actually with Evan, and there was a phone call that JC received from Kayla and said, hey, like around the lines, not word for word, but it was around the lines of, hey, I know this is a weird question, but by any chance, is Evan with you? And JC comes back to Kayla and said, no, why would he be with me? During that time, they were sitting right beside each other, literally right beside each other. So at that time, he was lying to his best friend and lied and said that, you know, he hasn't talked to him and he doesn't know anything why, you know, Evan's in LA. Well, that's the point, is he was hiding this from Kayla because he didn't want Kayla to know. He did not want anyone to know. He didn't want any fans to know or anything because he knew this.
Zach wasn't buying it. He says this is James's usual routine. Every time someone drops a video about him, he's quick to jump into the DMs trying to do damage control. Zach says it's like James is always in defense mode, scrambling to control the story before it spirals. And get this, Zach even brought up a past moment where he made a video about James and Emma having some kind of falling out. James apparently messaged him, acting like he was his boss or something, making it sound like Zach was in trouble for not getting approval first. According to Zach, this isn't new behavior. He thinks James gets a kick out of controlling the people around him, especially younger guys. He said it feels like a power trip. Evan is 20. James is about to turn 26 in just a few weeks. So no, it's not illegal, but let's be real. The age gap is loud. Personally, I can't even imagine trying to date someone that young at 26. The difference in maturity, experience, and mindset between 20 and 26, that's major. And honestly, it's starting to look like James has a very specific type, and that type seems to be barely legal and barely grown. Like, what is going on with James? This man has every resource at his fingertips when it comes to dating. He's rich, lives in LA, surrounded by endless opportunities. He could hire a matchmaker, meet people through events, apps, friends, clubs, heck, even a pickleball league or a choir. Anything would be better than going after these young dudes, especially ones tied to drama.
As you guys know, JC does not have Snapchat, and I'm not sure exactly why he doesn't have Snapchat, so JC uses Instagram as his quote-quote Snapchat. They would, you know, Snapchat 24/7 on Instagram and FaceTime every single night.
And it's not just about age, it's the fact that Evan is the ex of his own friend. And not just any ex, but someone who allegedly mistreated that friend. That takes it to a whole new level. It's wild that James keeps ending up in these messy situations. Actually, scratch that. We can see why it keeps happening. We just don't get why he keeps letting it happen. You can't keep blaming it on him being young. He's not some clueless teenager anymore. He's a grown man, a millionaire, and runs a full-blown business. He knows better. After what happened during his last big scandal, you think he'd be laying low and moving smart. He got lucky the first time. TikTok was fresh, and he managed to build a brand new fan base who didn't know about the whole Bye Sister meltdown. But now, there's no excuse. This new wave of fans, they had no clue how deep James's past scandals actually went. And honestly, over time, it feels like it's made him way too confident. People started dropping comments like, why was he even canceled?
James Charles is sleeping with Evan Johnson, the one that broke Kayla Malik's.
He's hilarious. And you can tell that praise went straight to his head. It's like the moment people started forgetting, he started getting messy all over again. Even the fact that he's using Instagram to meet people and send disappearing messages, that's risky behavior when your whole brand is on the line. But here's the real issue, and it's way bigger than just flirty DMs. This isn't about him getting caught up online. It's about James not backing his friend. It's about him choosing to support Evan because, according to Zach, he was into him. That's the core of this mess. James allegedly let Evan stay at his house, knowing at least some of what Kayla had gone through. And Kayla? That was his friend. That's what's got people upset. Not just the scandal, but the betrayal. Now, James has gone totally quiet online. He's been missing from social media, while others in the community have started calling him out. Meanwhile, Kayla recently posted a video saying she's had to keep quiet on a lot of things.
Oh, man. Yeah, James, you're f***ing cooked, kid. We're gonna need, like, 27 more crying apologies. Not only is this guy a P3DO, you get it, befriended this Kayla girl who vented to him about her boyfriend and then went behind Kayla's back to smash or get smashed by this. Like, he is so terrified. He's trying to hire like 19 PR teams to try to clean up this mess, and kind of awesome now people are starting to hold him accountable for his disgusting acts. So James, you're cooked.
Because she's waiting for her court case to wrap up. That says a lot. Under Kayla's latest video, she actually liked a comment that straight up called out James. It said, "I'm so sorry about James Charles. That is just so selfish." That little like said everything. And over on James's own TikTok, his comment section is in shambles. People are dragging him left and right, and his follower count is dropping fast. As for Kayla, her court date is actually set for today. And just last night, James finally broke his silence and dropped a statement about Evan. He said, "I do not support Evan Johnson. I am hoping and praying that Kayla gets justice tomorrow, as I promised her privately. I will not be responding publicly to anything until after the hearing is over."
This lineup of events has got to be just like, I don't even know. Like this has to be like a test of like patience. Like, Kayla, you have to bite your tongue until next week. Oh, can you do it? Like, nobody understands how hard it is to like just sit here and scroll on my For You page and not say anything yet. Anyways, court's in 2 days.
Birthday. Now, how is James going to explain this one? Because from every angle, it's just not looking good. The timing, the choices, the silence, it's all adding up. And people are starting to see the pattern. But now I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe James's statement? Do you think his silence was damage control or something else? Make sure to like, comment, share, and of course subscribe so you don't miss any updates on this crazy situation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.